Hey, what's up, everybody? So happy that you can join. I am CJ. I go by CJ Creating is my creative name. I'm going to be joined today by David Delisca, a longtime friend. We're going to be doing the KIROS Images series of art, life, and legacy. I'm now also controlling some of the behind the scenes video, and so bear with us in this process. Let us get the show started. I'm going to introduce David. David, what's up? How you doing?
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? I'm doing well. How about you, man?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing good, and I'm really excited about these new, like just getting live again and just getting the
Yeah.
conversations going. And for anybody that's going to be watching, would love for you to comment because we want this to be interactive. And so today's focus is to revisit some of the work that we did about a decade ago. We did some really creative pieces. Yeah, man. What do you remember from that day?
Man, I'm trying to remember how it happened, but I do remember uh it was like, you know what, capitalize on the moment. And because I remember thinking, yo, my hair is not done. And like I was going through that ugly phase or whatever when it comes to locks. And I think I had just grew that locks that
Stages.
year.
Yeah,
And I was like, yo, I need a retwist, but I had no retwist accessibility based on the offer. I'm like, I don't have no time for it. But I was like, you know what? I roll with this. I remember that too. Also remember as well as uh uh thinking I was also in a different shape fitness wise. that was my that was when I started letting go of any athletic dreams I really had. Kind of kept being an artist. Okay, how do I get to express myself more? What are different avenues to express myself? How can I find the different ways? Because I wasn't thinking about this as just like, oh, this is shots for like headshots or something like that. I thought I took it as an opportunity like let's create, and as well as what can I be inspired by? Because I remember I actually reflected on it, and I remember like trying to write pieces for every shot you gave me. Every
yeah,
try to write poems for every pieces. I don't think I effectively did it well, but I remember trying. So that's the initial things that I remember, and then as well as too, I felt like I was like the uncasted Avatar or something,
mm,
because the Avatar movie just came out around that time too. I remember, so yeah, I think that was the first time going to your studio.
yeah.
Or no,
Now this was
second time.
the
No, like
second time.
first time like maybe shooting. I think, or maybe it was
Mhm.
first. But yeah, definitely one of the first time. I think it was the first time actually.
And this was like the old school studio. So people
Yeah,
don't know, I used to have a studio in a bachelor basement apartment, and I would use
yeah,
that to create the studio before there
yeah,
was like TO studio. And it was very grassroots. I had like it was a rug on the floor, so I had to get some
yeah,
like plywood and marker board so that I could do some things.
yeah.
It was a creative process all around. I'm actually gonna switch over now so that we can actually see one of the pictures. So now we're broadcasting a picture. I'm going to try to get myself in frame here. And this is what we're going to talk about. So for me, when I came to this process, like I was listening to that Curtis Mayfield track, We the People That Are Darker Than Blue. And I was listening to that a
Hmm.
lot. And I was really feeling, thinking a lot around some of the history, thinking about the power of like melanin and dark skin. So
Yeah,
black, you're blue, the indigo, some of these deeper principles. And I was thinking
yeah,
about lighting and using color gels as well in a creative way. And so that was kind of the inspiration. I did a couple shoots around this theme of just playing with this deep color blue on the skin of melanin.
yeah.
And so that was some of it. But what we're seeing here, and I can even kind of zoom in here. Do you remember how I got this effect? What you were doing here to get that glow?
I had to hold something, and I remember,
Yes.
and so I remember you because I remember you wanted to involve lights, and I remember holding. I think I held it for a while too for different. Uh, that was initially what I can initially remember
Yes.
about that, and and even too, I remember just coming into it like, oh, we're doing like more darks, aspects because as well as too, you know being dark skinned, and as well as my first time really, I think this is around the first time I've even letting people shoot me.
Hmm.
I think I probably had maybe one or two photo shoots right before, and they were like headshots. And also growing up with insecurity about dark skin, especially when it comes to pictures, because you're like, yo, somebody gonna get get it right, wrong, or but to come into that part where it seems like that's embraced,
Hmm.
that was kind of like, so that was kind of like, what, hey, let's see what happens. So I remember thinking that too, like, yo, let's, whatever happens is all good, because there's never really a time where I'm these things are considered. Sometimes, like, I always feel weird in front of cameras because of the dark skin, and so
Mm.
to feel more like, yo, this is I fit the key, was kind of cool for that moment.
Solid, nice. Yeah, I had you holding a little video light there, and I'm sorry it was probably getting
Yeah.
a little hot too.
Oh, it was hot. It was
Ooh.
hot. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, as you said it, like, I
Hmm.
remember, like, yeah, it was hot.
Jeez. Sorry about
Yeah,
that one.
my man's had my hands burning. Like,
Yeah, okay, you're a soldier, man. That was an old school Sony light. And what we are doing
yeah,
here is so the blue light is with a color gel, and the hot light, literally we call it a hot light sometimes for that reason, is in your hand. And mixing the two created a really interesting effect. I'm gonna kind of go through some of these. This is called like dragging the shutter. So when we move the camera and the light is still being captured, you
yeah.
get some of that effect. I'm just kind of gonna go through some of these. We're just having some fun and being creative. There's that light again. Um,
Jeez.
yeah, you say, geez, like what's your response when you're looking at this shot?
I mean, like, it looks like some type of editorial, tell you the truth. So that's dope. And
Hmm.
then, as well as, even then, it seems like, damn near galactical. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
In that aspect, holding worlds being projected onto you,
Hmm.
being feeling massive, but still also feeling like, like I hold form in a big space.
Hmm.
And so just looking at that, and so that's kind of fantastic. And even when you think about space in general, a lot of space is, from what we see,
Hmm.
from distance and whatnot, it's darkness with a lot of different light, and a lot of magnificent light, that is, like, when you think about how things are held in the space and held in earth, and held, and I mean, not held in earth, but held in that type of way. And then, as well as, uh yeah, so I guess, like, in the nutshell, it just feels grandiose in that type of aspect, when I look at that. So that's kind of
Hmm.
dope. And this one looks like an album cover or some type of, no, this is, if I had an album, this would have been the liner notes when you put the tracks, on or whatnot. Even like or the credits on the album leaflet. It'd
Awesome.
be a perfect page for that.
And that's interesting too, because you're talking about like melanin, like dark skin, some insecurities, but like in my understandings, like I'm looking at like closer to the original man on the planet of Earth in terms of,
Yeah,
created the image of God. This is what I'm looking at right now. Like this,
right.
yeah.
Now, which is, and that's the thing that's also, like, I think this was powerful about this shoot for me, was that reminder, that embracement, because, like, growing up, you trivialize for your dark skin a lot of times.
Hmm.
You already trivialize outside of your own race, for different reasons, and internally you might have some lateral violence based on, when it comes to creating hierarchies about skin pigment,
Yes.
hierarchies,
Pigmentocracy.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know
Yes.
and whatnot. And so, I I'm not gonna lie, like, there's times where I felt like, damn, just felt invalid, not to say like cursed,
Hmm.
but there was a lot of working that had to happen to embrace my skin tone, to embrace, and that, not take it personal about what some people didn't understand about who I am, and really try to step more into who you are, embrace who you are, and then step into these opportunities that allow you to do so too.
Hmm.
um and so, yeah, like, walking into it, like, I have a different perspective, but walking out of it, where it adds to your confidence, adds to who you are, embracing who you are. Oh, look at this shot. Hey, yo,
Yes, sir.
fam. Yo, I just
Yeah.
wish my hair was retwisted, though. That's all. I just, yo, man, that's all. That's the only thing. I'm just like, but it's like, but actually, it's powerful for me in reflection, because it just shows me about where I'm at,
Yes.
in general. But,
Hmm.
like, but that's a dope. Ooh, you can give me this shot, bro.
Yeah,
I don't
man,
remember
for
this
sure.
one.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
all these shots and revisiting it after like 10 years, like I've got this massive archive, right? So it's
Right.
beautiful to revisit this. And in terms of like the editing and that sort of thing,
Yeah.
This is very close to original. Let me see if I hold. Let me see here because I'm on the actual editing program right now. So what you see is pretty much the original. The only thing that I would do is maybe boost some contrast, some clarity,
Yeah.
some vibrancy. But like what we see is what we get. There's no, heavy Photoshop going on. So
Do
yeah,
we have the
man.
spray bottle for the liquid? Is that
Yes, yes.
that's
So that yes, that was a trick too. So to be able to keep because we had the spray bottle to have those beads, right? Because in some of these
yeah.
shots, if I go through this a little bit, let me just go back here a little bit and we'll kind of fast track to those ones since we're on the topic. Right here,
Yeah.
we wanted the
Yeah, this
texture,
is one of my
right?
favorite ones
So
right here.
yeah, man. So it's like, and I want to talk a little bit about Haiti too, and like what that means to you, and why you brought that piece with you, because we didn't really plan a lot, but
Right.
things worked out really well. So pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. Go ahead, man.
Because I remember in the moment, like, how do I embrace more about myself too, more about
Mm,
what I care about, and because I was also like insecure about not just about my skin tone, but just taking photos. Never took, like the only photos I took before were two, two, two photo shoots,
mm,
like, and they were headshots, and one was just like a walking around, take a picture, and one was like maybe a studio one. Um, but this is like, so I'm already like, what do I give off to make a picture powerful or amazing, or what do you do? And I think I remember thinking about just, I don't know who brought up the idea first, but I just remember at least this gives me an opportunity to showcase more, je ne sais quoi, or some more aspect about who you are, or to bring out that thing. And I always wear this necklace every single day of my life, so it's just like, that. And I think it just fit with the blue too.
mm.
And so yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Absolutely. We did a little bit of oil to keep that water surface level so that we can kind of keep that texture there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
worked out nice for sure. We actually have some comments coming in. So let me see. Yes, Jay Paris says these shots came out beautifully.
Jay
Jay,
Paris, my
yes,
guy.
United Films, wonderful photographer, very dedicated artist,
Shaka
videographer.
Fett.
Thanks, Jay. Yes, good to see you in the room. And then Teresa says, um, awesome beauty, strength, illumination, celebration of a man. And Teresa is one of my favorite people in the universe. And I love that idea of illumination, right? In terms of looking at light and how photographers are playing with light, but there's also this idea of like light within and enlightenment and knowledge of self, because ultimately that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're talking about as well, right?
Right.
That knowledge
Right.
of self, that stolen legacy that we don't really understand, right, in this education system, but we can actually just see it in our brilliance that we exude every day just naturally. So, yeah,
Facts.
let's go
Facts.
through some
Facts.
more
Facts.
shots. All right. All right. So, I got to say something about Haiti because maybe somebody's like, just checking the live and they're not quite sure on the significance of this nation. What do you have to say about your nation?
Oh man, it's hard for me to, because it's like, I mean, there's so many things I can say, but because it's hard for me to say because I feel like I'm validating it when I feel like it's already validated. That's why it's
Mm,
like hard for me to say. Like it's just like,
mm,
the aspect of being Haitian is I'll say this: I love being a Haitian amongst the history, amongst the resilience in the history, and more importantly, the contemporary and historical traditional culture, the
mm,
energy, the vigor, our embracement of music, style, language, and all different such. Obviously, there's the most important aspect of us being the first republic that freed himself from slavery and created our own republic, First Nation, and so and how that and that's and if anything that's the current Haitian people and historically are a representation of legacy, and that element of what our ancestors gave opportunity for us. And so, and as well as not just for us directly, but opportunities for countries and people around the world who wanted their own sovereignty, and as well as remove shackles of oppression when it comes to aspects of slavery and even mentally,
mm.
and as well as creating opportunities for people that are against the oppressive nature that tries to lock them down. So Haiti is a lot and will always be a lot and of amazing aspect. Um, but yeah, I'll say that's why I love being Haitian.
Wow. Um, so we're talking about knowledge of self. We're talking about history, legacy as well, because this is the Art Life Legacy series. So kind of grounding ourselves in terms of where we are from the point of these pictures and when we took these pictures. Where are you finding yourself now? After you've come into more of a knowledge of self, if you will. I know that you've been in front of the camera a lot more since these pictures were taken. How's your journey been so far? Like, where are you finding yourself now? And, thinking about now going towards legacy in terms of what you want to establish as your ultimate gift to this world. That's not too of an
Yeah.
intense question, I'm sure.
Nah. I
Yeah.
say one of the things that was foundational element about where I was in my life at that time was curiosity.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I was curious about myself. I was curious about my environment. I was curious about the people around me. I was curious about how I can connect to the people around me, whether it was physically, internet, my social media friends, about all these different things. And the initial onset of curiosity, there was less foundation of confidence, just more so just pure curiosity and bravery and courage in that aspect. I think over
Hmm.
time, as I've taken different perspective and learning, found more confidence, found more ways to embrace my curiosity, where it's not about necessarily courage, but more so just like interest. That curiosity is mixing itself with just unfiltered interest about how I can create or connect more. And I know that hesitation is only clouds the solution. So I hesitate less. And so these type of opportunities provide that those aspects. So I find myself to be a different person, obviously, because it's a decade.
Yeah.
But but a lot of that about where I was now helped me be who I am now. And like I said, I think the most element, the most important element of that was the curiosity that I had. And I'm saying, like, you know, it, and even too that, because that curiosity really overcome fear, bro.
Hmm.
That day I'm scared of, why am I taking pictures with hair? Yo, I have peach fuzz at that time. I still got, like, I can't grow a full beard, but at that time, that's as most that I could grow, period.
Yeah, man.
Nothing like,
Yeah.
I couldn't. That was literally my career high of facial hair at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and just, but I felt a way about that. I remember thinking that, and as well as too, as I was saying, like, I stopped working out the way I used to work out, because I could see that I don't have my abs. I have a little bit, but none, like, so that was the time where I started transitioning out of that. And so this was a very, like, transitional period of my life. And
Hmm.
but a lot of it was embraced, or a lot of it was navigated using courage and but that courage was sparked by the curiosity.
Awesome. I see Lisa in the chat as well. Lisa is a brilliant entrepreneur, owns a studio in Montreal. If you'd like to come on the live, let us know. If anybody would like to ask questions, let us know, and be happy to keep this rolling. Thanks, David. I'm gonna actually show a quick behind the scenes because the album I'm going through now is actually all of the shots, like some of the raw shots. I'm just stopping at a
What?
couple of them. This is the device. This is my first like official studio light. Got some tape just holding up that color gel. Yeah, it just brings me back. Going back to that studio time. So that development, even for myself, looking back at these pictures, oh, I got a shot of myself too. So I'll embarrass myself. I don't think I have a lineup right here necessarily, but thankfully it's
Young
blurry.
CJ. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Going to work, man. It's that passion, it's that passion that we're blessed to
Yeah.
have around this art. So what are you up to now? What's something that somebody can do to get more information about what you're doing and what you're contributing?
I'm working on projects that I can't announce yet,
Okay.
which is cool.
Yes.
Mm,
That's
but
good. That's good. Yes.
yeah, I feel so, like, as if, like, is it really that secretive? But I'm not at liberty to announce. But I would say that, um, we're definitely trying to build, when it comes to literary aspects, and as well as, you know really go back into the exploring theatric elements and musical elements when it comes to showcasing the poetry and writing, rap, music. So there's projects being built. I think the best way is to follow along as I explore my journey of art. um I've been having great opportunities to perform and showcase, whether it's online or in person, but as well as just trying to grow in learning things, learning new ways, and relearning as well. And a lot of times that helps when we connect with people and connect with like-minded or different people that help us grow. And so I say like the best that folks can expect is just knowing that I'm just trying to grow in art in different ways and connecting. I actually saw a piece, one of the pieces that I wrote from the it's like short one. It's actually the one that's from the one that had the Haiti in the middle, the
Yeah.
where with the cuss.
Okay,
And
let me cue that up.
yeah, it's a short piece though. I don't even know if it's good or not.
Jeez, I wasn't even expecting this. This is awesome. So let me pull that
No,
up.
because I'm not saying we talked about before. Like I remember I wrote a piece to every single one, and I don't have
Yeah,
all of them, but you know,
you got one. That's
yeah.
which was the picture that you wanted to
The one where I have the Haiti emblem in the like as it hovering above, like in the middle, like where I'm
like the black
with
and
my
white one as well?
yeah, the black. There it goes. That one
Okay, this
exactly.
one?
That one. Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah. And the piece it was like, wow. It probably talks about it's probably helped me reflect about where I was at too. Hold up. It says, "Who am I? I am larger than the allocation provided by my body, greater than the facilities provided beneath my skin. Who am I to ever think that I am greater than you, larger than you? I know what you have done for me. Do you know what you are to me? IET. Although I'm apart from you, I am always a part of you." Jeez. Okay, I actually
Mm,
like that. Yeah.
give it up, give
Yeah.
it up.
And I think this is man, got to
Yes, sir.
yeah. And this helps me remember more too, right? Because this is also a reflecting about my relation to Haiti too. Yeah. Oui. Vous connaissez? Lisa connaît. Okay. Yeah, haïtien, oui. And so like, and I remember just this is also like I came to Canada maybe like a couple years before,
Mm,
and just also not. I grew up around Haitians, in Florida, but here I didn't grow up as much around Haitians in Toronto, and so trying to stay connected to your culture, who you are, in these type of ways. And I remember just thinking, who am I to think I'm bigger than you? Because I feel like I didn't like I think I was at that time where I didn't have Haitian culture around me as every day as it was before. And no matter how far I'm gonna get away from it or get away from it physically, um or in everyday life, I'm always going to be Haitian. I'm always going to be part of Haiti. And Haiti has made who I am. And in these different type of elements, obviously it's not obvious, but it's one of the reasons why I wear the necklace. Still have it
there it
here
is.
today.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's so like we're still here, and so um so that was a good reminder. I'm pretty sure I got other pieces. I can't remember. Oh, there's one with the where I'm just like standing like this, and I think
It's not this one, is
obviously I'm
it?
sure. Yes, that one.
Because I just
Yeah,
queued it
and
up
this
because I wanted to ask about this one actually.
okay. Bless. There's the piece that says, "Yo, fam, I don't even know these words." It's embarrassing because I haven't looked at the words yet, and I'm just about to read it without even looking at it, and don't even know how I wrote 10 years ago.
Jeez.
Words. Words get too heavy sometimes, don't they? Tongue quivering into a submission. Words, I must extract you, subtract you from beneath the roof of my mouth and add to the world. Silly words. I don't I don't know no fear. I don't fear you. Silly heavy words. I'm not scared of pushing you, pulling you out. Jeez. Okay, now I remember. Yo.
Mm,
And I think
solid.
this is at a time too when I just started performing, and when I think one of the most resounding aspects of being a creator at that time was performance. Because I
Yes.
was me being a quiet person. reserved person, and really expressing. I was like a performer, spread my words. Let me take these words out, not just let it squeeze out or, run by. No, actually push them out into the world. And it's like, I remember performing with so much passion back then. Not to say I don't have passion. I probably shift the passion, but at that moment, it was so necessary and important to just let go all the things that I was holding back. And I think
Hmm.
that was, that time of just really like, yo, I'm here. And I think it was for me, obviously. And when it comes to a lot of like, yo, I need to really stake my claim of being here, embracing who I am here. And words were that kind of like that, I guess that, that flag that you planted on the moon. Just like, yo, I'm here. I
Mm.
made it out here and stuff. And so I don't perform the same way no more. I do perform strategic, but it's like I remember it was all my performances are hard. It's like, like and so I remember I think you asked me to like kind of uh did you ask me to perform or did you I can't remember.
Well,
Uh
yeah, yeah. Like if I'm shooting an artist, I sometimes like them to actually do a performance. So you're probably
yeah,
spitting a bit to get that
yeah,
vibe, you know?
yeah.
Jay is asking, what helps you find your voice?
Poetry, and well, not just voice. I say there's multiple voices. So I say when it comes to my poetic voice, it's really just I hate to come back to this word, is curiosity. Being curious, like what I mean. What do I have to say? What's within me, and how can I say it best? Yeah, I got it wrong a lot of times, and then I got it right when I felt what was comfortable and sincere, or what messages I really um this is how it is. This is how I view. I share what I'm willing to talk about endlessly. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
kind of started writing what I'm willing. And before I used to write for people what I thought was cool. Now it's just more like during the time I had to learn like, yo, what if people have something to say about your thing? Let's just say you end up being a great poet, amazing poet. Or can you talk about this over again or whatnot? And even to yourself, And so I think I kind of found a voice that kind of like, yo, this voice feels sincere no matter what. And then as far as when we talk about metaphorically how I found my voice in life, it was obviously through poetry and spoken word and expression, but it was learning through the things that I was writing and creating, and learning through perspectives that I from other people based on their impressions, and so a lot of finding my voice was through learning of self and learning about the world around me, and creativity, performance was that key that unlocked all of that. If that's poetic enough.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So that brings us to about 30 minutes. We wanted to do just a little quick introduction for the Arts Life Legacy series. Is there anything else that you would like to say before we wrap the session up?
Oh man, I want to say thank you, CJ. Honestly, this was um a great opportunity for me, and like as well as like just um it meant a lot for me at that time. It means a lot to me now. Obviously, we grown a relationship. You've done a lot of my photos, so you know. And but at that moment, that particular one, like
Hmm.
I'm very, very extremely thankful because it really did help me. Really, yo, if you're curious, try to do things. If things interest you, capitalize on opportunities. Opportunities happen for us a lot. Sometimes we don't realize it,
That's right.
and it happens more when we can capitalize when we say yes.
Mm.
um and that yes wasn't no more like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was more like, why not? And I really did respect you, so it was all good. I think when I think about it, I did go to your studio place before when we you helped me with the U of T video,
Yes,
the high school
the
conference.
conference when
Yeah.
which featured Danny Glover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that
like,
that
yeah,
clip with Danny Glover. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
that's another story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, so even that, like how you can capitalize on opportunities from folks that you meet and learn, and so and I think when you can respect people, when you feel like, yo, I really respect someone, and why not, really try to explore where that can be. And so I think you're probably one of the the first or initial people that I can say like, yo, if the vibe is right, why not just explore, see what's like,
Yeah,
take
man.
that step outside, whether it's your comfort zone or what you know about, or or whether it's about step outside of stagnancy or step outside into a new path or whatever that is.
Mm,
You were definitely one of the initial folks, definitely for photography for sure. Not even that. And so I give thanks for that.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, our paths just, continue to cross in different ways through the years with my nephew JV, the poet, and, our
Yes, sir.
community that we've been growing all these years has been really powerful. And so that's why it's so important to kind of take moments and look at legacy and look at, where we're coming as a community. So thanks again so much for this time. And I'm looking forward to more of these conversations.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining. I got to get a more upbeat song next time. All right, y'all. Later.